Left 4 Dead 2 has some of the best dialogue in any video game I have ever played. All of the campaigns have their own collection of voice lines that shed light on this game's story and its characters. And when it comes to campaigns with a lot of voice lines, The Passing is in a league of its own. Not only is there a lot of dialogue in this campaign, it's some of the best and funniest dialogue the game has to offer. The interactions between the two survivor groups are hilarious, and it's definitely the standout feature in this campaign. When I broke down The Passing a few months ago, I went over a lot of dialogue, and I also said this near the end of the video. I know I've said this like 4 times already, but there is a shit ton of dialogue here, and I don't want to make this video 30 minutes. The comments were quick to point out that more dialogue is exactly what you guys wanted. So today, we're going to revisit The Passing, and go over the many, many different lines of dialogue. I won't be aiming for a 30-minute video, but I'll do my best to highlight what I think are the most worthwhile interactions while covering any lore implications I missed in my previous breakdowns. Without wasting any more time, let's get started. In the opening of The Passing, Francis or Zoe will come to greet the survivors. I already went over a few of these interactions, but there's obviously plenty that I missed. For example, here's an interaction between Zoe and Rochelle.
Oh, thank God! I thought I was the last woman on Earth.
Yeah, I know that feeling.
Francis will sometimes say this when he greets the survivors.
You down there! Be calm! We're cops!
I'll tell you something, that guy is no cop.
A running joke in this campaign is Ellis falling in love with Zoe, and Ellis is not shy about it in the slightest. If Zoe is the one to greet the survivors, sometimes Ellis will say this.
Well, hello! Hello. Howdy, beautiful weather, huh? We're having a, oh God, I'm too nervous to talk to her, man. One of you better do this.
If you look to the left of Jimmy Gibbs' car, you can find a sign displaying the historic Under the River tour, and this comes with a lot of hilarious dialogue interactions.
Only in the South do I have to go under a goddamn river.
Coach, you know anything about this Under the River tour?
I don't know. It goes under the river.
Gee, thanks, Coach.
Now, let's fast forward to the wedding. This small area is loaded with unique dialogue, and a lot of it is very funny, so again, I'll do my best to go over the funniest lines. Upon arriving at the wedding, Coach and Nick will sometimes have this interaction.
Look, anyone see the wedding cake?
Coach, I'll keep an eye out for some, okay, buddy?
At the center of this park, you can find a witch wearing a wedding dress, and upon seeing this, the survivors will sometimes say this.
Ellis, go give the bride a kiss, it'll be good luck, trust me.
Man, I hope we don't see a tank in a tuxedo.
Rochelle also has 2 voice lines that shed some light on her backstory, more specifically, her very bad experience with weddings.
I pissed off another bride! Well, this isn't the worst wedding I've ever attended.
It's a very small detail, but it adds a lot of layers to these characters. Nick will also have this very disturbing line once the witch is killed.
That has been a fantasy of mine for a long, long time.
Nick, you scare me.
And after searching the tents in the back, Coach will sometimes say this.
Guns in the tent? Damn, but no cake.
Now let's move on to the safe room in Chapter 2, which is also loaded with a ton of hilarious dialogue interactions.
City of Rayford. They used to have a boiled peanut festival here. Oh man, good memories.
Boiled nuts. Christ, what is wrong with you Southerners?
Coach and Nick will sometimes have this exchange.
I am not looking forward to this Under the River tour.
Man, Nick, you gotta find a way to cheer your ass up. We ain't got much to look forward to.
Coach, it's a hole. Oh no, excuse me. It's an historic hole. Under a river.
And before we leave the safe room, here's one more spat between Nick and Coach.
If anybody sees any hand sanitizer, let me know.
Oh, come on, man. You ain't afraid of a little dirt, are you?
A germ just wiped out the whole planet, Coach, so yes.
Now, let's move on to the tattoo shop. Once you enter the shop, Rochelle and Coach will sometimes have this to say.
I got that one. Hell, I got most of these.
Where?
Shit, it's all south of the border.
Please be the ankle, please be the ankle.
And sometimes Rochelle will have this exchange with Nick.
Rochelle, do you want me to tattoo your boyfriend's name on your arm?
Damn, sorry. I didn't get his name.
I'll just write Greasy Pig. We all know who we're talking about.
Once you get past the tattoo shop, if you're lucky, you'll see the Midnight Riders tour bus driving by, and upon seeing this, the survivors will sometimes say this.
I must be dreaming.
Oh man, I must be seeing things.
After walking a bit further, the survivors eventually arrive at the historic Under the River tour, and it's safe to say Coach is a little disappointed.
Man, look at all this, Oh, man, this tour is bullshit.
Yeah, tunnels. You're right, Coach. You're so right. History is coming alive.
Oh, shut up, Nick.
After walking a little further, the survivors find a sign saying this. Turns out the tour is still under construction, which means the survivors have to walk through sewage water to make it under the river. This does not sit well with Nick, and he's sure to let everybody know how much he hates it.
Hey, Nick, what's new? Oh, not much. I couldn't drive Jimmy Gibbs' stock car over a bridge, so I'm crawling through a shit-filled sewer so I can lower it. You?
The other survivors will also tease Nick throughout this entire segment.
Don't trip, Nick.
Hey, Nick, splash fight?
Don't you dare.
And before we move on, here's one more funny line from Ellis.
Oh man, I found a candy bar. Whoop, false alarm.
Now let's head over to the safe room in Chapter 3. Before you even leave the safe room, Coach and Ellis will sometimes say this when talking about Francis.
I don't trust that biker. He's probably long gone by now.
Nah, man, he seemed like a good guy.
Minute we left, I bet he stole the Jimmy Gibbs Jr.
I will kill him. He is a dead man. Folks, we got a new goal. New Orleans gonna have to wait. We're gonna have to hunt that biker man down.
Nick will also take the opportunity to tease Ellis about Zoe once again, and sometimes Rochelle will actually jump to his defense.
What are you nervous about? You had your chance. You didn't do shit. Now, you can watch Nick take care of business.
Nick is just jealous.
What? I'm a handsome man.
Nick, you need to find a woman who hates herself, and she'll love you.
The interactions between Nick and Ellis are almost always funny, and the comedy reaches its peak in this campaign.
How do I look?
Like you've been crawling through a sewer.
Yeah, well, you got a turd on your shoulder, Nick.
I'm not even gonna look.
Now let's move on to the second meetup. Once again, we have a lot of dialogue interactions to go through. I went through most of the good ones in my campaign breakdown, but there are some golden interactions that I missed. Let's start with this chat between Nick and Francis.
Thanks for telling us about the goddamn sewer.
Which? Oh, sorry. Got confused by all your crying.
Francis also has this line that's really funny.
Cry your way over to the elevator and then sob your way down to the generator, fill it up with your tears, and we'll take care of the rest.
Sometimes you'll get this back and forth between Rochelle, Lewis, and Francis.
Look, they made it. Look, I told you guys they were gonna make it.
Hey, I didn't see you from the other side.
Yeah, that's Lewis. I wouldn't get too attached to him. He'll probably be dead soon. I'm Francis.
And once you get to the elevator, Nick will sometimes say this.
The minute we get down there, I am shooting that biker.
Here's another cool detail that you probably missed. The Jockey, Spitter, and Charger were new special infected added to Left 4 Dead 2, and apparently, the Left 4 Dead 1 survivors never encountered these special infected until the finale of The Passing, and we know this because of these voice lines from Lewis and Zoe.
Watch out for the... What the hell is that?
Is that a new zombie?
This does make sense from a story perspective as well. The Jockey, Spitter, and Charger were not just new zombies added for the sake of content. The green flu virus is constantly mutating, and over time, the virus started to mutate the zombies into these new, stronger variants. These mutations likely happened during the survivors' train ride to Georgia, and this is backed up by the Sacrifice trailer, where we see the Jockey and Spitter sharing the screen with the Left 4 Dead 1 survivors for the very first time. I'll go into more detail on this in a future video, but for now, we have a few more bits of dialogue to go through. As the survivors are driving off, sometimes Francis will say this.
Bye-bye, Ro! I love you! I love you.
Sometimes Zoe will make yet another classic movie reference.
You finally did it. You maniacs! You blew it up! God damn you! God damn you all to hell!
Lewis will also give his heartfelt goodbyes to all the Left 4 Dead 2 survivors. Everybody except Nick.
Bye, Ro. Bye, Coach. Bye, Ellis. Bye. What's your name?
And once you reach the car, Ellis will sometimes say this.
Ro, how did you end up driving?
And with that, we can conclude the video. The Passing is a very fun campaign, and it's filled to the brim with funny and interesting dialogue interactions. I don't know the exact number, but I'm willing to bet that The Passing has more dialogue than any other campaign in Left 4 Dead 2. I went over a lot of dialogue interactions in my breakdown of The Passing, so go check that out if you haven't already. But if there are any other dialogue interactions that I missed, or if you guys have anything to add, be sure to let me know down below. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next one.